morning. This is Judy Gula from Artistic Artifacts, and we are in Alexandria, Virginia, and I think the seasons are changing. It's pretty cold out there today. I actually had frost on my car, so the days are getting shorter with sunlight, and so we're getting ready for the holiday season. We have just a lot of stuff going on here, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time telling you what we have coming up because it's a lot of stuff. So we're very, very excited about our Thursday night live, which is the 18th, I think, third Thursday. And yes, okay, I got the right day. Woohoo! And what we're doing this time, and you should definitely tell your significant others if they need ideas for gifts for you. Of course, we're very competent in buying our own gifts. I truly believe in that. But what we're doing is we're taking hand dyes and we're creating a package. So this is kind of what you're gonna see is there's needles, there's thread, there are hand dyes. It's even more than I can fit into a cigar box. So we're going for the nondescript paper bag. Here's another colorway that I'm working on. So we hope to have about 5 different colorways with multiple options and, multiple bags. So one color might have 3, another color might have 5, but it's just based on what I have to select things for. Now, the exciting part of this is that we have just signed a contract with a company that's called Comment Sold. And they are an app. And I know all I think of apps is games that my nephew downloads onto my phone before he got his own phone. But there are apps that are helpful and that work with us. And don't panic, we're going to give you instructions on how to do this. So we're going to introduce this app. We'll be able to run the Facebook live on Facebook like we've always done, but then we're going to hopefully have you guys signing up for the app, and that will actually make purchasing and processing the order more streamlined. So we're very, very excited about that. So that'll be our launch. And then I'm already thinking of products like we could do for lives and do a little bit easier than the big hoopla that we plan for our third Thursday. We'll still have the hoopla once a month, but we'll actually have the ability to bring more products to you with these Comment Sold Facebook Live. So it's coming. We will send emails on how to get the app, how to sign up, walk you through the whole thing, because we're still learning too right now, but very, very excited to make this leap forward in our ability to provide live selling and explanation and interaction for you to make your purchases. All right, so that is Comment Sold, third Thursday. So let me put this off to the side. Annually, we create stockings within our team, and various people do them at various times. And what we have today is a stocking made by Chris. And I'm showing you just this one specifically because it's going to do double duty. We are running a sale right now until Tuesday night at midnight. Maybe you can squeak some Wednesday morning out of it. That is holiday fabrics. So it's 25% all our holiday fabrics. And as everybody knows, deliveries with fabrics is a little hairy as with everything else. So we have brand new fabrics that nobody else has seen, and they're 25% off. So take a look at that. The other item that we have on sale this week, because we want you to have time to make things, is that we have some wonderful specialty threads that are marked down. So there's a couple of ways. If you do not receive our email, we highly suggest that you receive it, because for the 25% off, you need a coupon code. The coupon code is Holiday 2021. But if you receive our newsletter, you'll already know that because you received it on Wednesday. So please sign up for that if you are not getting it. Let you know all of our events, special events. This allows us to communicate with you. And if you don't want to be sold anything that week, you just hit delete. It's okay. We get it. But that's how you'll find out about all these specials. And because of comments sold and because of what we're doing, we will be able to have more special events online, virtually, and that's what we're working towards. Okay, so our fundraiser is going to raise funds for pancreatic cancer research. I have lost a couple of friends to pancreatic cancer. Dear creatives, members of our Creative Minds group, I'm sure that some of you out there have lost friends to one type of cancer or another. So that is what we're raising money for this year. What happens is you will be able to buy a chance to win a stocking. And we'll, again, explain all of this in our newsletter next week. We have 7 stockings that are all handmade and will be full of goodies that we have put in there for you, and that'll be a surprise. Next, so in the newsletter, we're going to announce it. We're going to show you the stockings and allow you to buy a $10 chance to win that stocking. Next Saturday, I am going to show you all of our stockings and all of the goodies that are in there so that you can have a little bit more information. And then at the end, on December 4th, we will draw the winner for each stocking live. So we ask that 1, you buy a chance and support this charity. 2, spread it to your friends. You don't have to be a quilter. You don't have to be a crafter. Spread this opportunity out to other people. If you could, I would be eternally grateful. So more information coming on that. See, I had to write it down today, because there's so much to tell you.
Did you say how much we raised last year?
Oh, I did not. We raised $5,000, and that was for Casa Cheralingua. Sorry, I'm not good with English either. Casa Cheralingua. We raised $5,000, and helped an organization provide the basics and education and everything to a Latino community that's in Alexandria. So we thought we did a pretty good job. So we would love to meet that and surpass that, but to be able to do that, we need your help. All right, that is what we have with the stockings. More information coming. Holiday sale fabric. All our holiday fabric is 25% off with the coupon code. I got that covered. Okay, then wanted to show you a new quilt that Chris created for us. Its pattern is Venus by GE Designs. Did you use the Stripology ruler, Chris?
Stripology extra large.
Stripology ruler extra large, which we're like crazy about those Stripology rulers, even me. And the fabric pattern is called Forest Glade. All 10-inch squares. Really easy, small, compatible. The 10-inch squares all made this quilt. You want to make a bigger quilt, you can get some yardage that coordinates. You can get multiple 10-inch square packs. And we have fat quarters and 10-inch squares in this pattern, Forest Glade. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. Do we have any questions so far? I know I'm speeding. I'm trying not to, but it's kind of hard because I'm really excited.
Lots of hellos.
Oh, hello.
Linda Snow.
Linda, hi. North Carolina.
Loretta.
Loretta.
Sue Carroll.
Sue.
Your mother.
Mom, hi. I have leggings on today, but I'm not pulling up my pants. Just saying. This is live. So this is the real me. Has everybody, are you making things for gifts? Is anybody making anything? Does everybody know about Artistic Artifacts Creative Minds group on Facebook page. That Facebook page is for you to show us what you're doing with the products that you've purchased from us. We want, in process, want some help, what binding do I use, or how do I finish this page in my journal, or look at what I did, really happy to share it. It's a very positive, reaffirming Facebook group, and you do need to apply to be a member, but please show us what you're making. We definitely want to see that. And I might need to pick out my holiday gift from what you're making. All right. No questions. Thank you. So just pop them in there. Kyle and Chris are scanning questions, and we will do our best to answer them. All right. So we're on to the meat of the Facebook, and we're going to talk about fabric books. And I'm going to bring Leslie up, who is one of our team members here, and she is a BERNINA specialist. And come on.
BERNINA Queen.
BERNINA Queen, yes. Hi, everybody. So, Leslie, tell us first your Facebook group and what you're doing.
The name of my Facebook group is Textile Adventures of a Prima Donna. And what I would like to do is find out how women around the world use textiles and share with each other, because we all do something different, and each country has their own unique use of textiles or even textile creations.
All right. Good. All right. Ask to join our group. It's lots of fun. Great posts. Really interesting posts. I would not find them by myself, so I get a lot of help. All right. With that being the focus with Leslie, I'm going to show you my first book. I like fabric. I definitely do journals. I definitely do paper. But one of the things that I was able to find was in a museum in the Netherlands. They have these pictures of these Indonesian women wearing their costumes that's native to them. And I wanted to use those pictures somehow. So then I found a pair of shorts that had all this Indonesian stuff. I don't know, what was it, the 70s, where you had all the patches with the Indonesian fabrics and everything? So this was a pair of shorts, and I took the shorts apart. So what I want to show you is this is kind of a folding book here, and this is the back side. So most of the information or the pictures or the decoration is on one side. And the reason for that is I can use stitching on it, and I do have, this one probably has Peltex in it. Some are with batting, some are with Peltex, some are with flannel, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And I created this piece here, and then I made a ribbon to connect them. So it folds. So why I asked Leslie to come was to talk about kind of construction and BERNINA feet that might help us and make the job easier. So I fuse things. Then I sometimes remember to zigzag around the edges. And for this one, I did use a decorative
There you go.
stitching. So that's all got to be with a zigzag plate. I like, what's the clear one? Is that a 34?
I do believe
one?
it's
Yeah.
a 34 and a 34D for the
Dual feed, which is always awesome. And that helps with this. So, and then we just joined, and I did this with zigzags. So it was not, it's not really a traditional book. And if I wanted, and a lot of fusing, I use Misty Fuse. So Misty Fuse is a must. And then we have the Goddess sheet. So I do a lot of fusing.
Another good foot to use when you're going to be following a line and you want to make sure that you stay outside the line or make sure that you stitch on the direction that you want to go is the number 20. And that's the open toe embroidery. That allows you to see the stitch as it's being created. And you can see exactly when it's time to make the turn.
Yeah, I like that one too. All right, so this is a folding one. And I do make them kind of close loosely. I have all of these. I don't know where, I never had them as a kid, but I found in a thrift store these beaded belts that were made for kids. And it was in the tourist stops like Yellowstone, Mount Rainier,
Oh, yeah.
and you know, belts can make some really awesome book closings. Yeah. Kyle's going, yeah, I remember those.
You got me some of them.
I know, I'm sure.
When I moved out, there were like 3 in my closet.
Oh, can I have them back?
I think they're still at your house.
Okay, so here's another folding book. This was where some relatives of ours in Ohio, Mary, she had these fabulous pictures from her mom and when her mother was growing up. And so I said, can I make a book out of them? And she said, of course, if you make me one too. So I did make 2 of these, and this is the same type of Timtex in the middle. I did all of the decoration is on the front side, and then I use, let's flip it. This is the back. And again, I use vintage linens, and one side is definitely less complicated or less stitched because I just fused the backs. So you can do anything you want on the front, and then you're gonna cover it up with something on the back. So I thought I did pretty good. She's got wings, she's got a dress, little doll dresses, and everything there. And these are smaller. This folding, and I like to add width to the page because if I stack things on there, sometimes books get too close. I know have you ever done a journal, a travel journal, and you're taking it with you and you're trying to stick all these tickets in it and everything, and it's a bound book and your book goes like this. It's a little difficult. So I like to add the width to it as well. I don't remember how I sewed over those pom-poms.
No, and I left my glasses on the table. Well, there's definitely some zigzag. Oh, you sewed around them.
I sewed around the
Yeah.
pom-poms? Okay. Oh, there I did. Yep. And I have some.
How did you get the picture on the fabric?
Oh, okay. That's another one of my favorite ones.
The
That's a
eyeglasses
great
really
question. So pictures, when I use pictures, I use transfer artist paper, and I also use cotton printed by EQ Printables. So these are all printed on cotton, directly run through the printer and cut up.
Okay.
This one is where you put it through the printer and you transfer it onto something. So there's 2 different kinds that I use, and I use them always, all the time. I love it, love it. This one gives you a little more of an antique-y feel.
Okay.
And this one is you get more ink and it's directly on, so your print clarity is stronger. All right.
I love the dress.
I know, I like the dress and the wings. I thought, oh,
Yeah.
I did that well. It worked. So here she is. And again, I just kind of wrapped her. I don't know where I found this pom-pom stuff, but it was ideally fun. So, and then she closes up this way.
Nice and flat. like I
Nice and
said, with the
flat.
Spacing.
Yep, and there. This one, I love embroideries. So I love them when someone else did them. It's kind of like cooking. I love it when somebody else does it. So I found these pieces and I wanted to make a book out of them. And this binding is a little bit trickier, and I actually don't have access to these bamboo things anymore, so I probably would have done this the same way as I did the other one, where I would have stitched. But I took these pieces out.
Use chopsticks?
Yeah, we could use chopsticks. These actually were nice because they had holes in them. So I cut up my embroideries there and layered them. And again, this is one of my really early books, so I didn't know to fuse after I stitched. So I put the fabric on. I would wait. Oh, I waited on that one. And then here's a doily. And this must have been a battered one where I actually just had pieces of it and I cut it up. I made a little pocket. Did a little something over there. There, some hand dyed, framing a picture around the pansy. And it's just, you know, it's very frivolous, but it's just for the fun of it. It's just, you know, every once in a while I look at it and pet it, and because it's very textured. And I collected these flower pins, again, probably 1970s.
Somewhere 50s, 70s,
50,
somewhere in there.
I have a whole drawer full of those. So I love them. I love them. All right.
That's a cute piece.
Yes, and I made some little wax linen is how I put it together, and it's, you know, it moves and it has some space. So this is, these are 2 books that I did recently, like within the last 5 years. So that's recent for me. But this one, we have a lot of stitching that is happening, just small pieces of stitching. So I had these, just patterns, just thread, just trying to see what it happens and what it looks like. And
Those stitch meditations?
well, yeah, kind of stitch meditations that would work really well for those. Again, the back, so I did the stitching on the front. I did this one here. So this is going to be a unit. This is this piece right here. And you can see I had this. So I was talking to Leslie about my problem here is how to sew these pages in. They're called signatures. How to sew them in without having this space too big. So we had a couple of ideas. Why don't you talk about the different feet?
This foot is one that Judy and I both love, and it's a roller foot, and it's used a lot with leather because it doesn't stick. But what it allows you to do is, let me take it out
and show them. It's kind of an intimidating looking foot, but it actually is pretty cool once you start using it.
What it allows you to do is have your needle free on this side as the foot rolls around. So it's gives you a lot of flexibility, and even if you were stitching over here, it turns. It just with a fingertip turn, it just anywhere you want to stitch, it'll let you go, but it gives you that extra space where your needle it's not going to hit it because it's designed properly, but the needle can get as close as you want. You can use that for piping. You can use it for, again, leather or vinyls or anything that's sticky. If you want to roll over something, let's see what else we could roll over. I guess that's pretty much it. It's doing the same. You can do the same thing with each one of these pages. Another one that's really good is this 44C. And what this 44C allows you to do is when you have a lot of texture, it glides over the texture. So you can top stitch on it and use your decorative stitches, use straight stitches, however you want to, add to your book without it catching anything.
I know. I always, if
That
I
is
use
so
a
cool.
regular foot, I always
Yeah.
end up cutting little pieces out so I can untangle my foot.
It's going to marry the fabric to the foot.
Yeah.
And now literally it's just going to join together forever.
Does that come with your BSR as well?
Yes.
there is one on
Yes,
the BSR
yes.
as well.
And that's the one I use, the little clear clip on my BSR. I use that one all the time.
Yeah. This one is the free motion couching foot, which allows you to, has a lot of little pieces here that you attach to put your threads through. You can see here where you can thread it through there, and then you can make decorative stitches with cordings. So that makes it a really pretty
it's going to
design.
be able to free motion, so
Yeah.
you can go around in circles and straights.
Right. You don't want to, be limited in your creativity because your foot doesn't work with you or get stuck on stuff, and you don't want that kind of frustration. You want to just keep moving while your creativity is flowing.
Oh, yes. I remember when I tried to sew on oilcloth.
Oh,
Oh, that is an experience I never want to go through again.
And we also have You want to use a good top stitch needle if you're doing that. And also if you're using things that stick, you want to make sure you get a non-stick needle. Very, very helpful, especially when you start going through layers of something that may be sticky inside.
Yeah. I always have something fused.
Yeah.
Always do. I always have something fused. So let me show you this one. I just love this little piece. I had a friend give me this and I was like, oh, it's just perfect for a book cover. So that's our vintage piece. And so then I took that and I designed my pages around that piece. So let me show you the rest. So again, I used batik. So there's the one page. There's, you know, I'm sure that something will go in this because, you know, who knows when it's really finished. These were the pages that we were just talking about. And then these. And this was a piece I actually had started. You can see it's a little more detailed and has it. I think I was doing a beading demo and that was there and the leaves are here. So we have, again, lots of things, bead mixes in more than 11 different colors and they are all available on the website. And then this stuff, these ribbons are just, the leaves we have had forever and they're wonderful. And then we have some mixed packs of ribbons where I've gone through my studio and created just a pack of ribbons for you. And polymer clay buttons. We've been so lucky to have those buttons. And these are, you know, we have also plastic buttons and vintage buttons. Large arrangement. Because I have a button fetish. You might not know that. It's not real obvious, but I definitely have that. So that is there. And then when you're doing something this size, you could actually, we still have some treasure boxes, a few treasure boxes left with some Japanese fabrics. And you could just create a book with some fabrics and textures and stitching. So there's all kinds of things. And the other thing that we like to do, and I definitely do this, is we use some collage packs. We have quite a lot of collage packs. And if I'm incorporating the collage paper with the fabric, I will misty fuse it onto a base and then I will incorporate it into my book. So those are always, and black and white pictures, you don't necessarily want to iron misty fuse onto those, but those are sturdy enough that you can stitch around the edges and put them in your books with no problem whatsoever. So those are some really great suggestions. With the Japanese boxes, we also have some of these little interesting packs that are there. We talked about pictures, because of course I love the pictures.
We did have one question. As in reference to all the needles we were just talking about, do we sell those at the shop?
Yes, and we do have them online. So the needles are there. Thank you. Good question. All right. Of course, any of these, you know, we talk about how I use vintage with the covers and things. All of these packs, these fabric collage packs, inspiration packs, have enough that you could make a very particular book as well as a collage quilt. Many people incorporate fabric into your paper journals. We encourage that as well. And those are there, multiple colors. And if you don't have any vintage threads or fabrics or doilies, I have some I can share. And we have these bags and they're cut up. They're not perfect, they're not whole, they're pieces that you can incorporate into your collage.
Treasure box.
Treasure box.
How much?
Treasure box is one with no price on it. It's on the website. This is Japanese silk, green and natural, and there's multiple colors. I want to say...
We'll put the link.
We'll put the link. Instead of me guessing. Sorry. We picked up the one that didn't have a price. There's always one. All right. So this one, our last book.
This is my favorite. I love it. It's so pretty.
And this was a hard one to do. This was very, very difficult. This has batting in it. So you can see it's much more flexible. than what the other ones are. So I just use scrap battings. And I think I wanted, I don't know what the catalyst was with this. It just kind of, it happened. I think usually my catalyst is my pictures. If I see pictures that I really, really like, and I wanted to do it more sewing oriented. But you can see these pages are a little bit thicker. I had a lot of trouble sewing my signatures in because I ended up actually using this foot to get them close enough together, because when I was using my regular foot, even a zipper foot will work, but I had trouble with the zipper foot. I don't want like an inch in between these things. It's just one of my things I stick on. I have some of these vintage advertisements. And so again, I just kind of created little vignettes here. And it was done in 4s. And some of it was by hand, some of it was by machine. Like I used this stitch here, I used a straight stitch here, and pictures. And hand-dyed pieces. And I loved that when you had old vintage linens, you had them numbered.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like some of the doodads in here.
Peltex? That
She
one.
just puts everything in, and it just looks so cool in there.
Yeah, I had all of these kind of ebony colored things. So I had the tools that I did that.
Yeah.
So Peltex, there's a question about Peltex.
Does it come in different sizes?
It's usually by the yard, and you can cut it. It's used to people use for purses.
It comes in different weights.
It comes in different weight. We have 70. We have Peltex 70 and fusible, not fusible. Like 71 is one side fusible, 72 is two side fusible. That took me years to figure out. I can't even tell you. So, but it's heavy, it's gonna be stiffer. I use that for my postcards. And I this was the first book that I used actually batting on. So, did that answer your question about the Peltex? And we do sell it by the yard. It's in the store and online. Okay? All right. So, here's cardboard. Here's cardboard here. So I incorporated, I just put a hole, but I can assure you I used Misty Fuse on the back of it so that I could make sure it stayed and it didn't crumble. So, yeah, I was all about women and where they were and what the pictures are. I have this whole folder that is just portraits of women.
One of the things that you do that I found very helpful when you mentioned that if you start something, you don't necessarily finish it. You put it in a container and then you come back to it. So if you start and you get stuck, you just put it to the side, save it, come back, and then you can, pick it up from there and turn it into something really, really gorgeous. Like, I love this. I love this.
Yeah.
Reminds me of my grandma.
I know, all the blue, and this is all hand dyed. But I do, and what happens when I do that, usually I use trays or a container and I put stuff together, is in the back of my mind, I'm actually working on it. It's not in the forefront where I'm doing other things. And then maybe I'll go back and go, okay, I solved that problem. And this is, or now it's flowing a little better. Or, sometimes I have to start a different project. That happens as well.
And you can be out and about and say, oh, I remember, this would be perfect for that.
Yep.
Like, she needs a ring.
Exactly. I think it was all about the pictures. And then the second part of it was I wanted to incorporate as much of my vintage needlework as I could.
I love these pages.
I think this actually has a picture of my grandmother in it. She worked at Bell Telephone Company in the city for a very short period of time. And this was a picture of all the women she worked with.
So,
Yes.
we have a lead-in question.
A lead-in question. Oh, I know it's coming.
Suzanne Meter says, any chance you would do a monthly class to do these fabric books? kind of like your fabric embellishment.
Suzanne, thank you, Suzanne. Yes, I am starting to plan that and hope to be able to offer at most, I would say 99% it will be on Zoom, to be able to include people across the country. And then I'm going to have them set up as different types of books. So we'll start out small with different books and different ideas, doing the folding one, doing a small signature one, to the idea that then we can work through something larger. So most likely the class will be Zoom or Facebook, where you do the group, similar to what we've done with Gwen, but yes, it's coming. I'm planning. So again, be on the lookout for that in the newsletter. So
Yeah, look forward to it.
Okay, Suzanne. Chris is going to give you her $10 later. Because once it's out in the universe, I gotta go. I gotta do it. Okay. Any other questions so far?
Someone already said they're interested.
Okay, that's great. Well,
Gwendolyn.
you tell me, because I need to know. I need to know. And with that, actually, Suzanne took one of the fabric embellishing classes that we have, and that would be a perfect one to do on Zoom as well. Because I don't know about you. I know I love being around people, and that has just been, I'm a hugger. I love talking to people. That was the hardest part of the pandemic. But the concept of doing it with my studio, where I can go, oh, I didn't forget my power cord to my machine.
Oh, yeah.
And some of those things, that there's some real advantages to, oh, I didn't think to pull that box of buttons out. So I think that's how we're going to start. All right. I think we're good. We have to go open the store. Thank you so much for being here, Leslie.
Thank
you
you.
for
Bye.
helping. And we will see you next week to introduce our Christmas stockings and launch our fundraiser. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.